Today, live from Norman, Oklahoma, it's the UCLA Bruins against the defending national champions, the Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma football, a tradition that began in the late 40s with the legendary Bud Wilkinson. And for Barry Switzer, his third national title. Today, the Sooners take on Terry Donahue and his powerful UCLA Bruins. Rose Bowl winners over Iowa behind Eric Ball's 4 touchdowns. Oklahoma and UCLA for the first time ever. An unusually cool day in Norman, Oklahoma. 76 degrees under cloudy skies. UCLA and Oklahoma. The place is rocking, and here comes UCLA. The Bruins coming off a 9-2-1 campaign. They've won 3 of the last 4 Rose Bowls, 4 straight New Year's Day Bowl victories. Terry Donahue in his 11th year has molded quite a powerhouse, and here come the Sooners. Crimson and cream. They won it all in '85 behind the best defense in all of college football. They've got 8 defensive starters returning, 10 on offense, 18 altogether. They are loose. They are confident. They are hungry for more. The helmets in the air. Here we go. Deep kick despite the 35-yard line. It's in the end zone. UCLA will bring it out to the 20. Carnell Lake receiving in the end zone. UCLA starting offense, they got a good one. Durrell is your flanker. Pickard, who is playing in place of the injured Derek Cannell, Warnick, Alexander Goebel, and Swaneveld. And Kidder is your front line. Anderson is split in. Green, Stevens, and Farr your backfield. The key man, Gaston Green. You talk about speed. This guy's got world-class speed. Eric Ball, number 21, will see action today. Gaston Green, Eric Ball with Mel Farr at the fullback position. A very talented group. And Lynn Swan, you've had a chance to see these guys up close for a couple of years. And I'll tell you what, the tailback, as Barry Switzer says, with Green and a healthy Eric Ball, they have the best 1-2 tailback combination in all of college football.
Well, I think when you look back at last season, health is the critical question for all the tailbacks. Gaston Green starts out on top. He gets injured. Then comes Eric Ball, who plays extremely well. He gets a little hurt. Gaston Green comes back in.
So Barry Switzer again had a few comments for the officials, but now we're about to put the ball in play. First play from scrimmage from UCLA's 20-yard line. In the play action pass. Stevens going up. He's got a man. Complete to Mel Farr, the fullback, out of the backfield. The Oklahoma defense, as we say last year, the best in football. Finch, Brown, I should say Finch with Reed, Williams, Bryan, and Johnson, your front line. The right quarterback, McMitchell, Dixon, Brown, Jones in there. And here's your key man, Brian Bosworth. Outstanding All-American. We'll see a lot of him today, number 44. It's 2nd and 3 for UCLA. Second man through, and he's taken down. Gaston Green, good defensive play out there at the 24-yard line. Steve threw
most of those later on in the ball game.
All right, 3rd and 6. Stevens will put it up in the air. He's got time, and he's got his man across the 35-yard line for the first down. That is Joe Pickard.
And also the freshman Arbuckle, who might be their best tight end.
That was Pickard in motion. 1st and 10, UCLA, 36-yard line. Gaston Green, left side, snakes his way. 7 yards rushing. Paco Craig in the ball game now for UCLA. 2nd and 2. This is Green trying to turn the corner, doesn't do it.
Brian Bosworth.
Paco Craig. Split top of your screen. Durrell is down at the bottom, and this is Stevens rolling to his left. He looks
and the patience to make the big plays on 3rd down.
That's true. Marcus Greenwood, an outstanding fullback, did not make the trip either with an ankle injury. UCLA punting the ball. Harold Parkate let it drop at about the 25-yard line where UCLA. Here's the Oklahoma offense. The All-American Keith Jackson with John Phillips, Hudson, Simpson, Anthony Phillips, Johnson, Shepard to split in, Tillman, Holloway, Carr, and Collins in the backfield. The magic of Keith Jackson. That's what Barry Switzer talks about. This guy is phenomenal. Perhaps the best offensive player on the entire Oklahoma team. Holloway is your quarterback. He's got some magic as well to give the first man through. Lydell Carr, the big fullback, pushes across the 30-yard line for UCLA, which led the nation last year in rushing defense. Take a look at their alignment. You got Lake, Johnson, and Norton, linebackers, along with Batchkoff, Toomey, Whaler, and Smith, the front line. Turner, Washington, Rutledge, and Henley make up the secondary. And Terry Toomey, who is a native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, key man, the nose guard, who must battle the big Oklahoma offensive line. There, the give right side. Few yards for Spencer Tillman across the 30.
Didn't go to the outside.
Tillman and Collins are your halfbacks. Carr your fullback. This is Spencer Tillman trying to work for the first down. I believe he's...
And we may see some different changes, some alignments that are not normal in their defense.
First and 10, 39-yard line, right side. That was Spencer Tillman. For rushing of an Oklahoma freshman held by Marcus Dupree, and he's hung on through a lot of injuries. And here's Jamel Holloway, shows some of that speed. First thing up close to the
full drive down the field, keeping their defensive unit on the field.
Lydell understandable. 2nd and 5. Oklahoma, UCLA's 45-yard line. Again, it's Lydell Carr. Jamel Holloway leads his troops up as Barry Switzer looks on. Holloway, a confident young man. He says, if I make the best possible read, we're going to make somebody look stupid.
Oklahoma wants to find out.
First down, Holloway this time on the option, but it's not going to fool too many people. I don't think. He gets by Norton, but he cannot get by. Only 5'10", 180, and those figures, I think, are inflated. 2nd and 7. This is Carr again. And he is hit very, very high. Leon Perry now in at fullback for Oklahoma. Option. This is Tillman across the 30, 27-yard line. First down, Oklahoma. Spencer Tillman, Anthony Stafford in there at halfbacks. The give is to Stafford. Left side, he is upended very quickly there for UCLA. Chance. 2nd and 8. Holloway, he's going to keep it inside the 20, knocked out about the 16-yard line. Big gain for Oklahoma.
265 pounds.
First down at the 16-yard line, Leon Perry. About 5 different tacklers are there to bring him 12 yards for Jamel Holloway and the Sooners. He's got Perry at fullback, and that's the man to get the ball. Perry breaks away inside the 15 to about the 12. He's brought down by Carnell.
And I don't think they're going to pass.
Perry, and he is crushed.
And only 1 interception.
Here we go. That is 3rd and 6. Perry and Stafford are your backs, and here's a pass for you. Holloway fires, incomplete. That ball intended, field goal intent. Tim Lasher. This will be a 28-yard field goal. It is good. Tim Lasher. Championship team started with the Lions for many years. Here's the kickoff.
6 minutes, 7 minutes, and they score points.
Stevens, a quarterback. Play action. Moves up in the pocket and fires complete to Carl Durrell. Again, Stevens to pass, looking for Willie Anderson, and a fine catch at the 32-yard. 1st and 10, UCLA. The fullback, Mel Farr. Bryant Bosworth. Award as the top linebacker in the nation last year, the Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year.
That was the first down play that they did not throw also, Court.
2nd and 9, the draw. This is Mel Farr. It's 3rd and 8. Stevens to the air, going long, and it's picked off by Oklahoma. That is Scott Garrett from the 30-yard line. Holloway keeping, will he keep it? Yes, across the 40, sprints out to the 45, close to the 50-yard line. Jamel Holloway, a big gainer for the Sooners. Lydell Carr.
Very talented Bruin team that we have, you know.
Proud of your 2 young men?
Oh, I'm very proud of the guys. You know, it's like a dream come true having 2 sons to play football at the same school that you played. I mean, it's just like a dream come true to me.
40-yard line. Stafford in motion. That's Lydell Carr, big opening, and he pulls his way down. Again, it's Carr. Gets by one man. Rutledge trying to bring him down.
Greg Johnson, number 75, who was listed at 295, but came in the training camp this summer at about 340.
Holloway. He wants to pass. He's got time, and he overshoots his man.
They're going to feel much more confident.
2nd and 10. The pitch. Stafford, and that didn't fool anybody. Barry Switzer looks on. Holloway. Rambling. Throwing. Going to be picked off for UCLA, and that is Darrell Henley, and he may go a long way. 35, 30, 25, finally brought down at the 20-yard line. Jamel Holloway, a poor pass, and Henley picks it off and runs all the way back to the 20-yard line. We're going to call that a 71-yard return on the interception. Ontario, California. And suddenly these Sooner fans here, some 75,000, are wondering, what's going on? UCLA at the 20-yard line. In the eye, far as your up back. Gaston Green, the tailback, gets a reverse to Willie Anderson. Tries to cut across, gets by Troy Johnson inside the 15-yard. Receivers to the near side. The give, though, to Gaston Green, left side. Gets down to about the 13-yard line.
I think Curtis Williams might be able to do the job.
Right now, though, UCLA with a big 3rd and 3 situation. Stevens to Green. And Green is pounded before he had to. Here's David Frady, a young man who has not had a field goal since high school back in 1981. He puts it up, and it is good. So David Frady, his first attempt in college football as he replaces the great All-American John Lee.
I think that's what the coaches want to relate to these kids on the football field right now.
Holloway keeps, tosses it out. Tillman, he cuts the corner, but upended at the 30-yard. Leon Perry still on his feet, still driving those legs, tries to bull his way up close to the 40-yard with Oklahoma football. And most of them are coming back, or all of them are coming back. 2 juniors, 3 juniors, and a sophomore on that line. The only senior is the center. That is Patrick Collins up to the 47-yard line.
A strong safety, rather.
And an excellent one. Up the gut again. And the wishbone, yet he is not the starting quarterback. Jamel Holloway is, because he did it last year. He came in 5th game of the year and has been very, very successful, to say the least. Give to Leon Perry. He pounds across for a few yards. 1st and 10, 41-yard line. Oklahoma on the move again. This is the pitch, and this is Spencer Tillman across the 40, 35-yard line, down to the 30. Out those hamstrings. He says the best thing that's ever happened to him. He feels healthy and very confident about the coming year. 1st and 10. Holloway gives it to Tillman again. He's 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain by Tillman. 22-yard line of UCLA. The pitch. This is Collins. Kenny Norton is over to make the hit down the 18-yard line. We talked earlier, of course, about Mel. He deserves to play. He's a legitimate All-American candidate. Inside the 20. And
he's on this team. He cannot play this year and will not practice with the team until school starts at the end of this month.
2nd and 10. They give the Lydell Carr across the 10. Inside to the 8-yard. All right, it's 3rd and 10. Lydell is in there. And Jamel takes it himself. Rushing during Holloway's 8-0 streak as a signal caller. And today, obviously, that production is yet to be seen. This time, though, they're going to have it as Holloway trots in the right side to score the first touchdown of the game. Oklahoma waited a long time to get on the board with the touchdown, and here's the kickoff by Todd Thompson. Taken at about the 2 by Darrell Henley. He's across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Henley, the young man.
The Sooners are going to do it all the way. They're doing a little bit slow, but I think they'll catch on and catch a little bit more points.
Okay, let's go back upstairs to Corey and Ben.
All right, Mike. Tough job down on the field as Matt Stevens.
Close to him at the present time.
2nd and 10. The backs are split. They're both going out, but this time it's completed. Stevens, who threw for 186 yards in the Rose Bowl, looked very sharp in that game. Here, over the middle, no, it's intercepted. Oklahoma's football at Sonny Brown.
It's 130-10.
So perhaps that touchdown here in the second quarter and this interception to give him the ball on the 45-yard line is an omen of things to come here in the second quarter. Gonna pass on the run. First completion to Keith Jackson of the day. UCLA's Terry Toomey says Keith's like a big train coming at you, and he says that is scary. This is Lydell Carr, who's also like a big train coming at you. But
the ball,
who's got it? And it's Keith Jackson somehow tracking that football down. Jackson makes the recovery. Carnell Lake was a man to strip the ball loose. Looks like a draw play. Holloway, there's a flag down. He's knocked out. In fact, knocked down real hard.
The rigorous two-a-day schedule.
So a big holding penalty here against Oklahoma makes it 4th down and 7. Mike Winchester is in to punt for the Sooners. Back to receive is Darrell Henley. There's the kick. Henley at about the 14 makes the fair catch. UCLA's football once again. So the Bruins are trying to get their offense cranked up, see if they can avoid the interception. We have yet to see Eric Ball, the outstanding tailback for UCLA, in the lineup. This is Gaston Green, that other outstanding tailback, and he is off and running up to the 28-yard line.
Instead of going back to the basic attack.
First down, UCLA. Stevens, your quarterback. Play action, rolling, firing, and once again it's picked off by Oklahoma. And this is Paul Miliazzo.
He's probably talking to him about the defenses they're in, reminding him what his keys and reads are, and then giving him some assurance that he's going to be okay if he settles down.
Oklahoma with the football. Leon Perry, the big fullback.
But of course, before he gets another chance to settle down, they've got to get the football back. 53 players. I think it really upsets those young kids, and they're going to come out and say, all right, let's take it out on Florida State.
Of course, the Huskers are appealing that process. Should hear more on Tuesday as Holloway takes off. He's going to the races. Inside the 15, inside the 10. Jamel Holloway down to the 8-yard line of UCLA. In the first half, Oklahoma the football on the UCLA 9-yard line. They give it to Collins inside the 5-yard line.
You should be the guy out there playing quarterback, so you want to score the points, you want to take charge.
They bang it up the middle. A couple yards closer. It's 10-3. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Here in the second quarter, 3rd and 1 from the 2-yard line. Perry, Stafford, and Collins are your backs. The pitch back. That's Collins. Turns it in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Patrick Collins, 5'10", 185-pound junior.
I would say down 17-3. They need him.
But they also need him midway through the season in the run for the Roses.
Mel Farr and Gaston Green, your running backs. This is Matt Stevens. Fires a bullet pass. Is it caught?
Nope.
No. That was to Carl Durrell.
And get the call from the official. 2nd and 10. Backs are split. Passing formation. Stevens looks one way, fires the other way to Carl Durrell. Big chance, and performed so successfully in the big victory over Iowa. Halftime, don't forget the Prudential halftime report, all the scores, let you know what's happening all across the country today with Jim Lampley. 2nd and 6. Stevens again wants to go up top. This time, though, he is crushed. Before he's ready. Eric Ball is going to give them a lot of striking power later on in the season.
From the shotgun, Lynn, this is Stevens on the 3rd and 9, throws up a pass, and yes, it is picked off again. Who is it?
Ricky Dixon.
Ricky Dixon as he comes out of the crowd. Interception number 4 by Matt Stevens. And Oklahoma once again has the football in Bruin territory.
A little wobbly, doesn't it? It looks to be soft. It's got no velocity on it, no strength.
Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Holloway throws, almost picked off by Ken Norton at the 38-yard line. He can't believe it.
That's the only team.
What do you think about that one? Yeah.
Ooh, Vinny Testaverde, his arm.
They, of course, have Texas and Nebraska on the schedule as well, as Collins made a run of about 3 yards. A report with Jim Lampley We've got ourselves a 17-3 game here. The Sooners by 14 points. That halftime report with Jim Lampley after this message and a word from our
unit on the football field all day long, and that's just what's happened. They've been on the field all day long because of interceptions of his quarterback, Matt Stevens. Oklahoma's taken the ball, consistently marching down the field using the clock and getting the points out of their drive.
Individually, Jamel Holloway, the leading rusher, 66 yards in the first half on 9 carries. Here's the first half, or the second half kickoff. Todd Thompson puts it in the end zone as Darrell Henley takes it there. UCLA will bring it out to the 20-yard line and see if they can't get this offense in gear. Matt Stevens, of course, with 4 first-half interceptions. And we'll take a look at the offense once again for UCLA. Darrell, Pickard, Warnick, Alexander, Goebbels, Wanavelt, Kidder, and Anderson in the backfield. Stevens with Green and Farr. Still no sign of Eric Ball, as Mike Adderley reported to us in the first half. The word is he will not come in unless it is absolutely necessary. Here is Stevens. He's going to go to the air again. Flies it out there to Joe Pickard after heavy pressure, and Pickard makes the catch after about a 4. Oh, no, they're not going to give it to him. 2 officials are there. One said yes, the other said no. It's not a catch. The Oklahoma defense, take a look at their setup once again. Reed, Williams, Bryan, and Johnson. You got McMitchell, Dixon, Jones, Brown, and Finch.
And then that last play is number 40, Darrell Reed, and number 93, Curtis Williams, who applied the pressure to Matt Stevens. Boy,
I don't know.
Catch.
2nd and 10 for UCLA. This is Gaston Green. Sneaks through. 3rd and 3 for UCLA. Stevens, play action, maneuvers, fires, and he's got his man the near sideline about the 31-yard line. Who is it? It's Mel Farr.
Downfield. First down.
James Freeman.
Yes.
2nd and 9 for UCLA. Stevens fires, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Carl Durrell. Out coverage there.
Outstanding play by Ryan.
Stevens from the shotgun. Mel Farr, Gaston Green are the backs, along with Stevens. Forced out of the pocket, throwing on the run. This is Paco Craig, but he's out of bounds. He was a backup last year. His 2nd punt of the afternoon. It's Patrick Collins back there to receive at his own 20. Some nice blocking. Tries to turn it up around the 30 and does so. Finally pushed out of bounds at about 2nd and 8. Good fake to Carr. Now the pitch out. This is Spencer Tillman. Crashing across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Just got to have it. We get tired out there. We don't mind. We're a good friend. They'll know after films tomorrow night, right? 11:22 to go. Sooners lead 17-3. 2nd and now 14 to go for the first. Jamel pitches it out. That's Collins, and he is crushed back there. Craig Rutledge out and play ball, son. 17-3 is our score. 3rd down. Needs some big yards here, and that's a man who can get it for you. That is Anthony Stafford, but he's not going to get enough for the Sooners. And Darrell Henley, who we have seen is a very dangerous man with a football in his hands, is back to receive. He's going to try to anyway. No, he's not. As it falls inside the Michigan State at the Rose Bowl. Terry Donahue. His club right now got some work to do. Stevens fires it out to his favorite receiver. That is Carl Durrell.
The offensive line of UCLA gave Matt Stevens. Matt finally picks him up for the game.
Gaston Green pops for about 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Stevens will fire it again. Tosses it. Mel Farr tries to put a couple moves on and uses brute force to make it to the 37-yard line. You know, don't... I might add, too, the following week he threw 3 interceptions in that Tennessee ball game. Stevens now firing it. It's complete near side.
Caught the ball right in the stomach, lost the wind, but really showed me an ability to go after a ball.
So Stevens, try it again. Look out, he's in trouble. He's brought down. A sack, and that's big number 96, Richard Reed, 6'4".
Dropping everybody else off into pass coverage.
Loss of 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 19. Stevens, incomplete.
A blitz.
Look out, but he gets away, throwing it long, and it's not on the mark. And again for UCLA. Well, is caught. That's Ricky Dixon, Brian Bosworth. And he says if people start thinking about my image and how crazy I am, maybe they won't be doing their job. And that happens all the time. Oklahoma on offense as Patrick Collins bowls over for about 4.
Well, so much of that, I think, is just Brian having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I sat down and talked to him, he was just this calm, pleasant human being. Was interested in knowing what it was like when you're playing professional football, you know, the real side of it, not some of all the color and glamour of it. And I think sometimes he cringes when a lot of that stuff comes back to him.
Holloway's going to keep it. 45, 50. Look at him go down the sideline. He steps out of bounds, though. Way back at about the 47. There's a little action going. Of course, that 15-yard penalty is the reason why the ball is way up here in UCLA territory after the Collins drive. And here we go. That is Leon Perry. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Leon Perry, sophomore out of Orlando.
We had one return of a kickoff, haven't we?
I believe you're right. Stevens in a quarterback. No changes, but look out. There's a change out of nowhere. It'll make it 2nd and 17 yards. Gaston Green hits off the left side, but he's stopped in a hurry, and you know who it is. The Boz. And somehow, whenever the Boz makes the tackle, imagine, actually. Stevens again on the 3rd and 15. Looking, firing, and he's got Denny Thompson on the 17-yard line. But Denny is seeing one of the great defensive teams in a long time. Barkey cutting it off. Patrick Collins. Good quick first move. Almost breaks through. Still on his feet across the 40, 36-yard line. And as Sooner fans see how he fares. From the 35-yard line, Mitchell hands it off. That is Earl Johnson. Inside the 30 to the 27.
He wants more points on the scoreboard.
There goes Mitchell to the 22-yard line. Darrell Henley makes the catch. It's a tough situation to be in. Actually, it's a luxury to have 2 quarterbacks as good, as solid as Eric Mitchell and Jamel Holloway. I mean, when Mitchell was recruited, it was thought he was the guy they were grooming for this position.
Absolutely. Now he gets a chance to come in the ball game and work against UCLA's #1 defense. All right, he's not working against backup people. He'll come in, he'll execute, we'll have a chance to see what kind of speed he has, maybe even a little bit more passing from Eric Mitchell.
First down for Oklahoma. Spencer Tillman bangs the big. 2nd and 1. Again, Mitchell at the reins. That's Lydell Carr. He's got the first down, 10-yard line, and Johnson. Fake to Johnson. Mitchell coming. He's covered, and he is. It's away. What a move. He's going to score. Wow.
Holy cow.
That just doesn't happen. He was dead to rights. Carnell Lake had him behind him. We got a minute and 1 second to go here in the 3rd quarter. Matt Stevens is still your quarterback. Working out of the shotgun now, and he's going to run it. No, he's going to throw it. And it's incomplete, intended for Paco Craig, in and out of his hand. 2nd and 10 for UCLA. Backs are in the eye. Little play action again. Stevens firing it, and it's to Joe Pickett. 3rd and 3, 17 seconds left in the 3rd. The pitch to Green. Look out for Brian Bosworth. 44 on top. Lynn Swan and Mike Adamley, and apparently UCLA's months of preparation for Oklahoma's wishbone has not been enough. It's 31-3. Harold Barcade punting it off for the Bruins. Patrick Collins slip sliding away across the 40, the 42-yard line. Carnell Lake makes it down. Eric Mitchell still at the controls for Oklahoma. Leon Perry gets loose up across the 20-yard line. Klein, Miller, and Chance Johnson make the tackle. One of the things. 2nd and 4 for the Sooners. And off this time, that is Earl Johnson to the 25 roll. They got a 2nd and 9. Here's Eric Mitchell. Flips it out to Johnson.
He really be in the top 5 of college football this afternoon.
Mitchell trying to throw, gets away from Craig Rutledge, is still on his feet, puts it up, it is batted in the air, incomplete. That's right, Terry Toomey and Patrick Collins played in the same high school football team. Tulsa, Washington. Winchester's kick. Henley lets it go. It's going to roll down inside the 30. How about the 28 in the first half? The difference in the first half. And against a club like this, you just cannot afford to make mistakes. Stevens hooks up here with Bob Garibaldi as a defensive back. He said no thank you.
And he's certainly done that. He has certainly played extremely well this afternoon.
2nd and 5. Stevens, quarterback draw. The referee helps out a little bit.
And the learning experience, that's what his coach would want him to do.
3rd and 2. Mel Farr's got the first down. Bob Garibaldi's dad played Major League Baseball, and the coaches tell us that it just makes for more maturity. These guys do not get flustered. They've seen it all. They've been around pressure situations, and it helps them with the athletes as they come into the program. Dressed today, he's out with an ankle injury. So yes, UCLA has been banged up, and you wonder if they could have made a better showing, and they had been healthy. Stevens in trouble, lets it loose. Interception number 5. That is David Vickers at the 47-yard line.
And Matt Stevens, he has confidence probably in McCracken, but I don't think McCracken has the arm that Matt Stevens has.
Here's Mitchell. He's keeping the football across the 40, 35 out at the 32-yard line. Eric Mitchell driven out of bounds by
had it not been for that 6-2 ratio in turnovers. And one of those, I think you can probably take away, was at the end of the first half when he threw an interception, then fumbled the football.
Anthony Stafford.
Putting in players like Eric Mitchell who are continuing to turn in the big play and play consistent offense for this unit.
Lydell Carr.
Some of the confusion or the miscues, Oklahoma has been perfect.
25-yard line. Mitchell wants to take it in.
What's happened is Oklahoma's just really blown them away.
Mitchell will toss it. Johnson knocked out at the 12-yard line by Henley and Washington. Earl Johnson. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Earl Johnson up the middle, driving down to the 3-yard line.
They're going to have experienced people on the bench ready to play.
1st and goal for Oklahoma. Earl Johnson tries to make his way across. Oklahoma signals touchdown. Nothing from the men in the striped shirt yet. Doug Wassel in there. 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Oklahoma threatening again. Mitchell diving over the top.
Touchdown.
They're going to give it to him. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Kind of a slow call. James Washington isn't very pleased by a backup quarterback. For UCLA is in the ball game, a sophomore, 6 feet, 196. He's got Danny Thompson and James Primus. Gives it off to Thompson. Works his way up to the 29
to catch up, and Nick McCracken probably wasn't going to give him that advantage.
He's the fastest of the UCLA quarterbacks as he gives off to James Primus, who is knocked for a loss of about 4 yards. It's 3rd and 9 for McCracken. Getting some game experience here. Works out of the pocket. Oh, and he is taken down hard. That is Richard Dillon.
Nearly gets the Sooners in 1985 to take them down.
Barcate to punt. Ricky Dixon to receive. That's Carnell Lake chasing him around. Dixon doing
obviously the eligibility and how many years a young man is going to play.
There's Mitchell working the right side over the fullback. He doesn't feel, though, that the standards, the testing standards, are necessarily fair for all athletes out of high school. Mitchell, he's going to go the other way with it. Look out. He's finally brought down behind the line of scrimmage. We've got Todd Thompson in now. He's been the kickoff man, and he's going to do a little punting here. Kind of thing you do when you've got a 38-3 lead. Make sure you know all the talents. At quarterback for UCLA is Brendan McCracken, with Farr and Gaston Green, the backs. Brendan will fire it, and he's got Gaston Green near side, about passing kind of attack. Things change. They've been very successful. They've won 75% of their ball games the past 6 years, UCLA has. And, of course, the 4 consecutive victories on
maybe this afternoon, you know, they're not playing very well, but certainly his program has come a long way, and they're going to be a much improved ball club three weeks into the season.
McCracken in.
No, out of control. It's like that, we know we have the talent, let's go out and do it.
Well, as Jamel Holloway said the other day, he said, hey, if we stay healthy, if we don't have the injuries, we can repeat. Earl Johnson to his left on the sideline, celebrating what is a big victory for this club. And here's a long run, breaking it open on the far side. That is number 28, Rodney Anderson. Backup running back, backup fullback, finally brought out of bounds at the 26-yard line. A young man, a sophomore.
They'd be a bit off balance at some stage of this ball game, giving up some yards on the ground, but they are very impressive, very solid all the way across the board.
Anderson again inside the 20-yard line. Don't forget the college football scoreboard coming up after this game. And then tonight, Nebraska and Florida State, as the Sooners and their fans celebrate. The clock ticks down. 2 seconds. 1. There's the gun, and that's it. Oklahoma opens up with a powerful 38-3 victory over UCLA. They've won 9 consecutive games, and Barry Switzer and company mighty pleased. They want to go after a 7th national title. Back in a moment.